they're a moral nihilist, and they're the person they're debating is a I don't know, an individual subjectivist. You can't change an individual subjectivist mind, unless
so what's the point of the discussion?
You can't have the discussion, is what I'm trying to say.
Okay, so could you reiterate my point to me, because it seems like you're not following what I'm saying.
I don't think your point is necessarily following any coherence. But go ahead.
Wait, I'm asking you to reiterate it, because the rebuttal you're giving seems to not even follow with what I'm saying.
Could you restate it just to make sure it's clarified?
Okay, I'll take that as you don't know what I'm saying. So the point that I'm making is...
Just go ahead and restate it.
The point that I'm making is, when discussing applied ethics, which all applied ethics simply happen...
All applied ethics is what?
Finger, your mic is trash, bro.
Yeah, your mom likes it, nigga. The applied moral issues in certain instances and cases. That's how the applied ethics are. You're asking about lens, right? Where when you say lens, we're trying to describe what ethics and how we see it in a worldview. I don't see why that matters when we're talking about applied cases. So, to me, adhering to the discussion if meat is morally permissible.
Okay, so my problem is, I don't see how we can have a discussion with two different lenses, or lenses that aren't necessarily mutually exclusive.
We don't need a lens. I don't see why we wouldn't happen to need a lens in this conversation, is what I'm saying.
Okay. Explain why? I don't really... Can maybe someone else explain it? Maybe I'm just not getting it.
Anyone would like to explain from the audience, maybe?
Applied ethics just has nothing to do with like meta ethics, because it's already being applied. It's not discussing the meta.
Okay, so what? My question again. Maybe you can answer it.
No, it's not. You need epistemic to justify epistemology, and epistemology happens to be...
What? Okay, what's your name? Can you explain how we, or what ethics we would take here?
Are you asking me?
Wait, me? Why?
To explain. Hello?
You don't like discuss it. Doesn't matter.
Coldest nigga heard.
Okay, so how are we deciding if this thing is right or wrong?
All my position is you don't need to eat meat. You're saying you don't need to eat meat. Why does, if I believe it's subjective, or not existent, matter?
I'm not getting it. I don't know.
The thing is that you can justify your belief of like whatever type of like moral system that you want. Okay, you can say like moral objectivity, moral like subjectivism. If you can just, but that's not the topic of discussion right now. The topic of discussion right now is, okay, should you eat meat or should you not eat meat? Okay,
right.
So if you can prove your side of the argument with whatever type of like moral like lens that you're like moral lens that you can say you're allowed to use that. Okay, so it really just doesn't. I don't feel like that you should like box someone into a corner when like you're debating someone to say, hey, you have to debate veganism only using this moral stance. Like that's just weird in my mind. That's just
okay. So yeah, again, my position would happen to be that eating meat is not morally permissible. What would be your counter for that?
Eating meat is completely permissible. Yeah.
Well, how so? I need to know like why and like what reasons you think eating meat can be completely right in any case.
From a societal standpoint, it's completely fine, obviously, to eat meat. As far as its health benefits, eating meat has been a tradition for the past, I don't know how long, since humanity has existed. Our bodies are biologically fit to be omnivores. We have sharp canine teeth made to chew and bite into meat. We aren't strictly herbivores, and our bodies aren't made to be as such. Forcing our biology to essentially conform to being an omnivore when we aren't made for that is inherently something we weren't evolved to do. Our society, again, permits these things, and there's no reason as to why eating meat isn't something that would be impermissible.
Is that your claim?
That's like part of the evidence for my claim. Yeah.
Okay, so I'd start with the canine point. There's literally rainforest deer that have sharp teeth, but they still happen to be herbivores. Us being biologically like saying our organs are made to produce meat. We're humans are described as opportunist eaters, so we choose what we eat. In regards of health benefits, in specific, red meats have like type 4 carcinogens, which leads to heart diseases and cancer. So I don't think that point necessarily stands. And even when we say in a societal case and traditionally, there are cases where people eat meat. There's a lot of traditions where people don't eat meat, which involves against Hinduism, Rastafarianism, and early Egypt. But even then, if we're talking about tradition, slavery was once traditional in some cases. So I don't know if you're saying that's morally permissible, but even in that case, it wouldn't necessarily matter, right? In regards of a nutritional standpoint, you could basically get any nutrients.
Can we
while
stop
eating plants.
on one point, and because that's kind of shotgunning me.
How am I shotgunning? I'm refuting everything you said.
Oh, that was just my overall premise. If you're going to talk about like multiple points, can we go like one by one instead of 2 by 3?
Sure, I don't know how I was able to keep up with all your points and like not get confused. But yeah, which one do you want to start with?
So the first one you brought up was us having canines and being able to eat. I don't know about this reindeer. I mean, this not reindeer. This deer you're talking about. Can you show that?
1 second.
Okay.
If you want, I can screen share it, but if you look up a water deer, sometimes referred to as a water forest deer, it's literally a deer with fangs and canines, and they are strictly herbivores. Right. And the basic point I was making was no matter what these genetics say, these genetical properties doesn't necessarily determine what we should eat, because again, we're opportunist eaters. So therefore, us eating meat where like cruelty is involved in the suffrage of another animal wouldn't be morally permissible.
So
As I did mention, I could screen share it, but if you want, you can look it up yourself. What a like water.
I saw a water deer. It has fangs. So no, let me give you an example. These deer actually not these deer in specific, but deer actually do eat meat depending on the situation and what's available to them. I can show you that.
Well, that's of course right. When you're hungry and you need to eat, you're not going to be picky. Like if we're in like a apocalypse,
Here, I'll show
and
you
like there's a patch of grass versus like a dead cow next to me. Obviously, I'm gonna eat the cow. But the point I'm making is your point initially was that we have canine sharp teeth. This deer specifically, if it does have the source and resources to eat strictly like herbivoric foods, then it will eat meat based off of like the herbivore properties it has, right? So I'm saying we don't have to eat meat if we have those sources, even though we do have canines.
Okay, so here we go. Yeah, so obviously like deer don't have a problem. Yeah, you're saying it's in certain circumstances. So again, we do know these deer will eat meat. It's not something that's mutually exclusive from them. So yeah, sure. I think you're pointing out some situationalism, but again.
No, well,
yeah.
I mean, well, the point I'm making is us being opportunist eaters is we don't have to eat meat. Just like deers don't have to also. They survive strictly off of like plants and grass, despite the fact that they have fangs. Your initial claim was that they do have fangs, therefore they use these certain tools to eat meat when they're not strictly needed.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Are fangs more beneficial to eating live cadavers and creatures? Or are they suited to eating grass, leaves, etc.?
Well, a lot have canines, but they're made for crushing, while fangs can use for tear. So even then, if these specific tools are used for something, we don't necessarily have teeth that will rip and shred meat. Just like we don't have claws, right?
I believe that to be true. Give me 1 sec. Yeah, here we go. That's not true. They're not made for crushing. They're made for cutting and scissors. Adapted for tearing food or occurring behind the incisors, front teeth. They're made for cutting your food. They're not made for crushing. That's not true. They're made for eating tougher. I don't want to say meats, but tougher foods and cutting through them. They're made for eating, again, tough foods, aka meats. So no, that's not true. So from
I posted
here,
an article that explained it, but like if we're basing it off of what you said, essentially, can you show me like a human like ripping through a steak like it's string cheese?
Okay. So no, I never said raw meats. I'm saying it makes eating meats easier.
I'm talking about meat in general.
Yeah. It doesn't need to eat through a steak like a what's it called? I don't know what you said, but
Well, okay. When I say fangs, right? I can show you like videos of a cheetah or some like some apex predator ripping through flesh easily just by gently like pulling back while they have like their jaw locked onto like some flesh, right? Versus like us, like we don't tear steak like it's fucking string cheese. You know what I mean? All I'm saying is like you need to show me the specifics of how we can rip and tear through meat with ease.
have sharper teeth. It's fine. They can have sharper
But we
fangs.
don't have fangs. That's what I'm saying.
I never said we. I said we had canines. So these canines are now.
Canines
Wait,
are
let me
necessarily
wait.
considered
Let me
fangs.
finish.
They're just
Let
called
me
canines
finish.
because the position that they happen to be in.
Okay. No, humans have sharp front teeth called canines, and these are analogous to the same teeth of lions, hippos, and these other mammals. Can lions rip through meat with these, like you just said? Can hippos do the same thing? Yes. Ours just don't happen to be as sharp. It's fine.
Well, no, hippos use them strictly for defenses, so it's not
Okay.
the
Lions.
analogous.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, so it's a disanalogy, is what I'm saying.
No,
Why you saying
lions
anything?
use this exact. Okay, I'll show you a lion ripping through like a deer or something. That's
Yeah, that's well. Hold on, wait. So, are you gonna prove what I asked you to earlier? Can you show me like a human ripping through meat like string cheese?
no. Again, they're not as sharp.
So you don't
for
have
the third
evidence
time.
for what you're saying.
Okay, so no, just because these teeth aren't as sharp and aren't used in the exact same manner, doesn't mean that we as animals don't have these teeth for a similar purpose.
Well, you did mention specifically initially that we have canines, which genetically mean we should be able to eat meat because we use these canines to shred through meat. That was your initial
Doing
claim.
good.
Huh?
Yeah. Here, let me show you a hippo ripping through an impala. There you go. So yes, they can use it to tear through meat.
Wait, that's a hippo. They have fangs. We don't have fangs. We have canines. That's the point I'm making. You're trying to say that we have these genetic tools that enforces us to eat meat. We don't have fangs, is what I'm saying. I'm not sure how you're not getting that.
Hippos don't have fangs. I don't know why you're saying that.
You literally just said that.
No, you didn't read what I said and what I put. Humans have sharp
Wait, hold
teeth.
on. I'm not reading anything. You literally just said that they have fangs. We can pull the audience if you need me to.
You either misheard me or you're not listening. I said
We can pull the audience if I misheard you.
audience. Did I say fangs or canines?
In regards to hippos.
You said fangs as well.
I do not. But go ahead. Wait, can someone
Okay,
else?
so the
You
audience
literally
is
said
against you.
fangs, and then his finger was like, "Whoa, we're not talking about fangs. We're talking about canines."
Wait, can someone else chime in? Because I don't believe I
think
said
he-
fangs.
I don't think you said fangs.
Thank you.
Oh, I think Finger said, "Oh no, we're not talking about
The
fangs, we're
reason
talking about canines."
the reason they got
Geass
confused is
mentioned
because the reason they got confused is because Finger was referring back to an earlier point. So he must have tricked himself when he said that.
Well, no, because the initial claim he made was of it being canines. So I'm not sure what you're even talking
Well, if
about.
the initial claim he made was it being canines, and your claim he said fangs.
No, I didn't say his
Geass
initial
got
claim was
confused
fangs.
and
I
said
said,
fangs.
yeah, his initial claim was it being canines. I'm saying he changed it to saying hippos have fangs, not canines. You're the one confused. Do we pull anyone else?
I dropped a statement in chat that says humans have sharp teeth called canines, just like lions, hippos, and other mammals. So no, I was
Wait,
referring to that.
I'm not looking in chat.
if he said
Hold
it-
on, I'm referring to
If he
strictly
said
off
it,
what
he
you said in the
misspoke.
call.
Just clear it up. Just
So if
clear
you
it up. If you said it, he misspoke.
Wait, hold on. Let's
Because I
put
didn't
one more
hear you.
audience member because obviously it's like 1 and 1. Did anyone else hear fangs?
Just like your mother's leg.
I heard it, fangs.
Okay, then. So it's 2 and 1.
Did you hear fangs from me?
I'm pretty sure you got confused because I don't think you meant it, but yeah, you said fangs.
Yeah, he probably misspoke if he did.
For
say
some
it.
reason
I'm just
I did.
saying.
This is
then
like
I
an
just obviously
irrelevant. This is like an
misspoke, yeah.
irrelevant point. It doesn't matter, but you did say fangs. It
Okay,
doesn't
okay.
matter.
Okay, then.
Either way, I just misspoke. So we know.
So what did you mean?
Okay, it's what I dropped in chat. I'll redrop it. Humans
Yeah,
have
are you
sharp
posting
front
this
teeth.
in?
Because
Are you
you're
posting
slow.
this in general?
That's why you misspoke.
It's in
Slow.
scans and calcs. Humans
Okay,
have
1 second.
Okay.
Oh no, you could continue saying your point. I'm just going to scans and calcs.
Okay. So from here, that's obviously what I meant. And these creatures do have this ability to rip through meat, etc. Okay, that was my point.
Wait, okay, so wait, we're in a circle now. Because this even goes back to the point of like deers having fangs. It doesn't genetically show that specifically they have to eat meat.
Yeah, what I'm saying is they're made to make eating meat easier. Essentially, they're made to allow this cutting process to be easier. So from here, what I'm saying is our body is making these genetic mods for us to be able to eat meat easier. Again, I've already admitted we are omnivores. We do have the ability to eat both meat and leaves, grass, etc. What I'm saying is our body has made these changes for us and with the ability to eat meat in mind. So yes, that's why I'm saying it's permissible.
So let me get this right. You're saying with them having fangs, it makes them, or it's easier. Or sorry, I'm gonna describe it as a tool. So this tool helps them eat meat easier, right?
Yes, and our body makes genetic modifications with these purposes in mind. It does it so it's easier for us to survive, and it's impartial for us to help continuing like rebirth, etc. Like just by eating meat, because it obviously is of benefit to us.
How so? Because then, if that's the case, we could go on to the point of like how's the nutrients of it, because that is one of the points that you made.
Yeah. So of course, it's a food source that is highly beneficial. For example, if you go out and collect berries all day, the amount of nutrients you're going to get in regard to eating a full-grown deer are significantly less. The amount of immediate food and nutrients you're going to get is significantly less. You have to eat like a mountain of berries to like potentially get the amount of protein you'd get from like half a deer. Do you disagree with that?
That's more so subjective, like the quality of what we get in our food specifically. Like if we're talking about nutrients, we're talking about what we necessarily need in order to be healthy. And even at the same time, I don't know any human being who's not fucking Irish eating a whole fucking deer. So like I don't know.
Thank you.
When I say just eating a deer, I'm speaking like as far as hunting
We don't
terms.
have deer, but
Okay. When you go,
so let's compare sources, right? Because
wait, can I finish?
Oh my bad, I didn't hear you speaking. Go ahead.
So what I was saying was essentially in the amount of nutrients you're getting per bite, per meal, etc. You're getting much more protein and livable fats than you are from like getting. You'd have to get a mountain of berries just to get the same amount of nutrients essentially, or the same amount of sustenance. You can eat that like I don't know the fucking leg of a deer and be fine for much more significant amount of time than you would with the same amount of berries.
So are you saying? Wait, but that still seems subjective. I don't see like why anyone would have a problem of eating like fucking 2 bowls of berries versus a whole deer to get the like same amount of protein.
Yeah, okay. So you're saying essentially you could eat much more, and this would be fine, yeah.
Yeah, but like, who cares about that?
Yeah, I'm saying from a hunting perspective. That's why we evolved to do these things, because they're of much more benefit to our bodies and our essentially our DNA has like taken this into account. Otherwise, we would be purely herbivores, which we're not.
No, wait. That's the point I'm making. We're opportunists. I've been saying that this whole time. People choose to eat meat when, again, there's more nutritional benefits in an entirely plant-based diet. I'm not sure like why you keep mentioning these genetics.
Can you show it?
Also, you know, like there's show that we're opportunists.
No, that you're saying there's more meat. I mean, what's it called?
Nutritional benefits.
Yeah, more nutrition, like with this what's it called? Plant-based diet, or this purely plant-based diet.
Yeah, an example, like again, like there's specific meats that happen to be type 4 carcinogens, my bad, which do happen to be cancerous and cause like more heart failure than anything. Are there any like problems on a plant-based diet? Like, do you not get a specific nutrients? Do you lead to more health problems or anything?
Okay, so let's start with the first point. You're making the claim that it's. I think you're saying it's more healthy to eat a plant-based diet. Can you show that?
I literally just explained why. Like, meat has carcinogens in it.
Okay. Can you show like these meats? Like you're making these claims. Can you show like any evidence for them to be true?
You want me to show you that red meat's a fucking carcinogen?
Yeah, show me like the source you're getting this from.
Yeah, I got you. One sec. I am on push to talk, so just give me like.
Okay, it's fine. You can get. You got up to like 6 minutes in here to get scans or something.
Did I say that, retard?
I'm just letting you know. So what's wrong with that?
Edmund. Edmund.
Richard, shut your fat ass up.
It's kind of crazy how you look like you sound like a fat
Penis
black woman.
considered a meat.
You look like a baby shark, bitch. Shut up.
Like you laugh like that was not funny.
Comedy subjective, retard.
I thought it was funny, my nigga. I thought it was pretty funny.
I mean, did I ask you?
Did we ask you?
No, you fucking
That
border
was
hopper.
the
Shut the
long ass
fuck
time
up.
to respond.
Stupid Mexican. Shut the fuck up, my nigga.
Yeah. Sage, I don't know why you're trying to get smoked by everyone, bro.
Gonzalez. Your last name is Gonzalez. Shut up, Mexican.
And you're black. No, shut up.
Tacos.
Fuck.
What's that?
Wait, who's echoing?
Black.
You hear an echo?
Chicken nuggets, watermelons.
Watermelon.
That shit was not funny, my
Everybody
nigga.
hear an echo? You can't hear an echo. Okay.
Wait, might be. Nope.
That's finger.
Hello?
I'm on push to talk.
Push to talk?
Yeah, he is.
How's the echoing then? That makes no sense.
I think like the fucking like fatty tuna and Mexican sausage are getting to Richard's brain. Don't listen to him.
Fatty tuna.
Nah, that was not funny.
Comedy
You live in Europe, bitch. Shut the fuck up. You're European faggot. Shut up, nigga.
I thought it was somewhat funny.
Thanks, Milk.
I posted 2 scans showing like different types of carcinogens and what specifically has carcinogens in it. And you do, and while I'm grabbing these, do you want me to like find a scan explaining what a carcinogen is? Because you didn't know what meats had it, so do you want me to explain it?
Carcinogens are just cancer. Like cancer agents.
Sure, you can.
Okay.
So there's 2 links explaining what has carcinogens specifically.
Okay. Which part of like this statement is gonna like corroborate what you're saying?
That there's meats that have carcinogens. I don't know what else you could take from that.
I mean, like, which part of the article in specific should I be looking for?
Bitch, read it. It literally says it at the title.
Article what?
It's literally the fucking title.
I know it's a title, but oh my god.
So if I title something like, who randomly titles shits in studies? Like, come on now.
People do that all the time. It's
Like,
called clickbait.
Like, because this ain't YouTube. These are like Wikipedia studies.
Nigga, this is from a clothing company. This is not a fucking Wikipedia study, you retard. What the fuck?
Yeah, go ahead and get you some clothes, Sage.
HuffPost Australia. Nigga, shut the fuck up. You so dumb, my nigga. Kill yourself.
He really said a Wikipedia study.
Sorry, who was talking? What?
In this study it says lean red meat can be an important source of iron, zinc, and B12 and protein. In terms of cancer risk, there is no reason to cut red meat completely from your diet. But by limiting the amount you eat, you can reduce the risk of cancer. It's just saying eat this meat in moderation.
I didn't say, hold on, but my claim was they have carcinogens. The link still shows they have carcinogens specifically.
Specifically where it says that. So that's fine if you're just saying eat this thing in moderation. I don't really care.
No, I'm saying like cut it out completely. Because let's say if you eat one hamburger a day for like a month, yeah, you're definitely like developing more than like a risk of type 4.
The scan says, like the articles you sent explicitly say, don't cut this entirely from your diet. Just eat it in moderation. But I don't know why you're arguing that.
Wait, so if my claim is that it is a carcinogen and the scan shows that it is a carcinogen, what's the because we're talking about the nutritional value here. I'm showing you it does have a carcinogen. I never made any claim outside of that.
Okay, so the problem is, sure, in large amounts, it's saying, sure, it can be dangerous to you.
No, I'll still actually.
Yes.
It says it on there, but I'm still saying.
Like did you read where it says? It's saying this thing in large amounts can be dangerous to you. They're saying in small amounts, do not cut it out of your diet. We're not suggesting that.
Wait, but if you read the second link, it actually like mentions like what the carcinogen actually have.
Okay, yeah, again, in large amounts, sure, it can be a carcinogen.
No, I'm still here. I could tell you like evidence where like even in like moderate, because let's say, because you don't eat specifically red meat, that's just common sense, right? So if you don't specifically eat red meats, there's still carcinogens, which in the second link I mentioned shows other foods that have carcinogens. Of course, not everyone eats like 4 fucking burgers every day, unless you're like fucking Sage and his mother. But like again. Just it doesn't show in like any fucking diet where people just eat 3 hamburgers a day.
Advocating for red meat, because that's not what I'm saying here. Like I'm saying all meat.
Well, you're still mentioning that there are meats that you can eat and it'd be nutritious.
Yeah, like poultry. You can eat.
Poultry isn't fucking meat.
Yes, it is.
So why is poultry and
Fish
meat?
is not meat, nigga.
Oh
Fish is not meat, nigga. You're dumb. Kill yourself, please.
Fish is seafood.
Poultry can be defined as domestic fowls, including chickens, turkey, geese, and ducks, raised for the production of meat or eggs.
It's the production, but it's still specifically a meat, egg.
Oh
Poultry.
my god! No, poultry isn't meat.
Poultry isn't meat.
Yeah, poultry isn't meat.
You can produce meat from it, but it's not meat.
It's not meat. Yeah.
Who just said fish isn't meat?
I said.
Isn't poultry just a term for birds?
Dick meat.
You're getting beat up by Kia. That's all I know.
Did you say it's dick meat?
Isn't poultry just a term for birds, right?
I don't fucking know. The fuck?
Wow.
What the fuck?
Meat in specific are you going for here?
I'm saying any meat. Again, I made the point that not just red meat. Red meat specifically has type 4 carcinogens, but there's other meat that also has carcinogens. Now, we could talk about poultry separately, but poultry and dairy. But in the consumption of meat, there are carcinogens in it. Is he cutting out for you? What the fuck?
Here's what I'm going across with this. Like,
I can't hear you right, bro.
Okay. So here's the second one you sent. Here, 1 second. This was
You deleted it.
Yeah, 1 second. Okay. Okay. So your second article says there's no reason to cut this meat from your diet. It just says eat it in moderate amounts, which is 3 to 4 times a week. So it's saying even about half to a little over half of your meals.
I'm not sure at what point you are legitimately missing, but I'm saying these have carcinogen in it.
Yeah, I'm saying that doesn't
You do obviously have to consume a large amount of it in order to develop cancer. But if you eat strictly a carnivore diet, every day you will eventually develop cancer, and there are scientific evidence for this. I'm not sure where you're missing this, but that's all I've been saying this whole time.
So no, it's not just a carnivore diet. It's specifically red meat. You can eat other meats in conjunction with this, okay? And that would be completely fine.
But the second link shows list of other meats with carcinogen.
Wait, let me see which one.
Did you even fucking read it?
Yes. Yeah. Can you show me these other meats besides red meats? Because all I'm seeing are Huffington Post. How much can we eat?
It literally says produced meats, salted fish, heavy burnt or barbecue foods, red meats, and yeah, that's specific. So yes, even fish. Like it's not just literally meat.
Can you let me see?
It literally. Hold on, I must post the screenshot.
These are like big articles, dude. I'm just asking you where
So
you're,
you didn't even
from.
fucking read it.
I didn't read it all. Yeah.
Yeah. So you don't even understand where the fuck the evidence is come from.
Because I asked you to point in specific.
You're just
what
nitpicking the
about.
claim.
Okay. So it corroborates what I'm saying, but okay.
How so? Because if you didn't read the entirety of the argument and the claim, and you don't understand where the substance come from, what are you arguing against it? Because you don't even know what you read.
So this still corroborates what I'm saying.
What specifically? I'm asking you, and you can't even answer that.
It's the okay, dumbass.
Because it literally mentioned multiple meats. It literally mentioned multiple meats, and you literally said it's only red meat in the second link.
Yeah, that's the only one it's saying that is inherently. Like,
it still shows it in the link. There are two different meats that could have carcinogens in it. How do you not understand that?
I that's not what I claimed.
Yes, you literally. Do you want to pull the audience again? Because you literally said only in red meat if you eat it in moderation. Like, obviously, you didn't read what I was fucking saying.
Yeah, I'm saying it has high carcinogen rates. You can compare this with
There's
other
multiple.
meats.
You said it was only for red meats. That's why you posted that in scans.
They have these high rates. Yes.
No, it literally says. It literally gives a list in the fucking link.
Where's this list at?
Here, I'll post the screenshot, and it's in the second one. It's literally the first one.
Okay.
Where did this quote for the second one come from? In terms of cancerous, there's no reason to cut.
It's like just scroll down.
Hold on, so you scrolled all the way down to read this, and you didn't even read the first few parts of the article
section
because this isn't even this doesn't even conclude the entire article, and it literally says that.
To the red meat section because that's what we were talking about.
So you were just randomly giving a rebuttal.
To the important section, dude. I'm not gonna read the whole article if I.
Wait, but that doesn't even says in the conclusion. That's what I'm saying.
It doesn't have to be the conclusion to be relevant.
Okay, so the conclusions are relevant. So when you make an argument and you give two premises, the conclusion doesn't matter. You literally just said the conclusions are relevant. Like I don't even think you're keeping up with the claim.
I didn't say that, but
you literally just said that we could pull the audience because you simply don't even know what you're sitting here fucking arguing.
Okay, what you're saying is irrelevant. Let's just okay.
Wait, hold on. So what part of it is relevant? What part of it doesn't show that this specific meats have carcinogen in it?
Nothing, but so let's go.
So you're not going to tell me where it doesn't show that these specific meats doesn't have carcinogen or no?
No, what I claimed was...
Okay, then, so continue on.
That wasn't my claim. You're not listening.
Wait, hold on. So your claim specifically, and you posted this in scans, that these carcinogens doesn't produce cancer if you moderate it. When I literally said all these specifically have carcinogens, when you only pulled out red meat, and you literally admitted that you didn't read the scan itself.
I said in moderation, they're not of danger to you.
But if you literally eat all of these, because look, like I said, you could eat one fucking burger patty and you'll be fine. I'm not saying you eat one burger and get cancer, but it does show that it does have like carcinogens which produce cancer and even heart diseases, right? Because as mentioned, in which you tried to reiterate what carcinogens was, it's not just all cancer. It does involve heart disease and intestine diseases and shit like that. So it's not strictly based off of cancer. You just nitpicked the article like I mentioned.
So from here, you can still eat fish in other senses. You don't have to eat salted fish. Do you agree you can eat fish without salt? So from here,
it's just saying salted fish, like specifically most fish that are in produce are salted fish. Now, if you go to a random liquor, if you go to random, some fresh fish does have salt in them, is what I'm saying.
Okay, eat fresh non-salt based fish.
Yeah, you're literally gonna have to go to the Arctic for that. But that's
no, you don't. Wait, okay, I'll show you. You don't have to do that. Non-salt based fish. I'll find it at my local market.
That's cap. Eat fucking plastic, nigga.
Yeah, eat plastic. Gang, gang.
Do you pull up on Justin yet?
I was pinging him all day today, and he never responded in debate sanction.
I thought you said you were gonna live stream when you beat his ass up.
What?
Yo, none of your business, Renji. The fuck up.
Wait,
Yo, that's
Geass,
gotta be
you do
crazy.
know, literally, if you read the link, it does have links attached to the title Salted Fish, which if you literally click on it, it mentions how it's like in all local markets and grocery stores.
You can buy salted fish everywhere. That's fine.
So what the fuck are you? That's what I'm saying. That's the most available option.
Earlier, what you tried to press was that what's it called? Convenience isn't necessarily a factor. You said there are people willing to eat 2 bowls of berries if it's what's best for them. So what I'm saying here.
So at this point, you're still supporting what I said.
So what I'm saying here is that there are viable options if we're going with the. There's no pressure for convenience here.
Hold on. So I'm saying
Here's a list of fish.
Hold on. Well, you can send a list of fish that could just show wherever they are, but you didn't show that they're not specifically in the Arctic, like I mentioned. But as I mentioned, there's more things that
here.
Freshwater fish.
Yes, non-salted.
I'm not saying all fish are salted. I don't think that was my question.
There we go.
Yeah.
This includes catfish, bass, walleye, salmon, perch. All of these are readily available.
Yeah, but was my claim that all fish are salted?
No, you were saying that you would have to go to the Arctic to get these things. I'm showing you don't have to go to the Arctic to get salmon, trout, catfish, bass, and walleye.
But I did say salted fish is the most common use in the available option.
Yeah, that's irrelevant. It doesn't matter.
Wait, no, it's not, because I'm not saying that that's all fish. You're literally trying to say that my claim was all fish. It's just a straw man.
No, you said you have to go to the Arctic to get them, correct? Yes. So from here,
that was obviously exaggerated, right? But obviously,
Well, if that's not your claim, then there's nothing for you to say.
Then what are you arguing? Then it just seems like you're just special pleading.
Then there's nothing for you to say. That's fine.
There's nothing for you to say. You randomly pulled out a link when my initial claim was that these have carcinogens.
Okay, if that's just your claim.
Okay, so do you concede that they have carcinogens?
They have carcinogens, sure.
Okay, then so we can move on to the point. We can literally move on to the point. Red meat, salted fish. It literally, there's literally a list in scan.
Yeah, sure. They can have carcinogens.
Okay, so all those have carcinogens, right?
Sure.
I'll take your concession. So on to the next point, because we already talked about biological factors and nutrients.
You just concluded your point. Can I conclude mine? So what I'm saying,
what is there to conclude?
Well, no, it's to corroborate this point. So this
you already conceded.
Okay, Judge, can I corroborate my point? Is that all right?
Did we even pick judges?
It was
supposed to be a judge.
Tigger.
Who was supposed to be a judge?
Tigger.
I can judge if y'all want.
Tigger.
No, he's eating a potato right now. Tigger, bro, unmute. He's not here, bro.
How the fuck are we gonna get this nigga to judge then?
He
didn't wave like a piece of steak in front of his face or something. He's probably sleeping.
Zarif is recording this.
I'm recording to you.
Oh, Zarif, were you actively listening?
He's judging.
Yeah, I was.
Why anime?
Fingers losing anyway. It doesn't.
You can give
like you lost your legs, nigga.
you can give an initial judgment, but what's your infamous? But I still have the recording, so we can get someone else to do it as well.
Wait, so do you want to just move on from the point? Because obviously no one was paying attention.
Yeah, so can I explain? So what I'm saying
what
is,
are you explaining?
What I'm saying is, even if there is carcinogens in these foods, there's very obviously meat that lacks carcinogens that you can go and is a healthy alternative and completely fine. Also, no, I showed that you can use unsalted fish, for example.
But was unsalted fish my only example of a carcinogen?
No, it was.
Okay, so what is the point you're even making?
It's one that I use. Stop interrupting.
Wait, hold on. But I literally mentioned red meat.
Judge, can you ask him to stop interrupting me? Judge, he's interrupting me for no reason.
Go get it, Judge.
Judge, he's interrupting me for no reason.
Because you're not even refuting my point.
You get viewed by Geass.
You're not even refuting my point.
Judge, can you ask him to